Hello, friends. As I've been thinking through what it will be like when we are eventually able to come back together again, I've had something that's been pressing on my mind, and this morning I woke up and it was just burning in there, and I had to come and get it out. And so I came to the church, to my office rather early this morning, and I started reading the scriptures and thinking through a few things that I wanted to present to you here this morning. And so I've written out what I want to say, and I've even put together a little visual aid that I'm going to put on your screen. I like visual aids. I'm a visual learner, so maybe this will help those of you who are like me. All I want to do is present this to you for your consideration. I want you to be conscientious about the things I'm going to show you. It's likely that I've missed some things or forgotten a few things. And so, again, search the scriptures. Be a Berean, do your homework, and think these things through. Talk it through with your friends and your family, and see if it makes sense to you. As we go back to some semblance of normalcy and begin to meet together again as a church, there are a few things that have been on my mind as a pastor. Part of my job as a pastor is to help people to assimilate the truth of God's Word into their lives, but also to help people to be patient with other people who are assimilating the truth into their lives at God's pace. And so if you put 10 Christians into a room, they will all be able to reconcile their heart and their mind with the truth of God's Word at a different pace. That's called sanctification. You're growing at a pace and maturing at a particular pace, and none of us grows at the same rate. Well, I want to talk with you this morning about resiliency. I'm convinced that when we come out of this, there will be a few different people groups. I'm calling these tiers or categories or classifications of resiliency. In other words, how an individual responds to fear in their life. So I'm going to put these 4 categories on your screen. And again, think through what I'm telling you. Think about what you know about the Bible and run it through the biblical filter, okay? The first tier of people would be the fearless but the reckless. This group is going to enter back into their lives likely with a carefree spirit about them, as if nothing has happened. And there's a sense in which we need people who think like this because they get the ball rolling again. They get businesses back and they jump right back into work. Unfortunately, this same kind of thinker often has little tolerance for people who are uneasy about things and who enter back into their lives a little slower. And so they often multiply pains upon people. They can often be dismissive and quick to regard people who are not handling things as well as they are, and in so doing, they inadvertently often, but they cause even greater pain to people who are not able to be as resilient as they are, and so they're reckless with other people. Christ followers can't be like that. So if you naturally tend toward this category, I want to urge you. You need to model the example of Jesus and be like the category number 2. I'm convinced category number 2, or the second tier here, is the classification that all Christ followers should strive towards. That category is the fearless but sympathetic. Paul told Timothy, we've not been given a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind, or self-control. So Christ followers must be a fearless people. For some, that's easier said than done. And so, true Christ followers, we should strive to move back into our lives wearing a disposition of trust in God. In other words, when people look at our faces, they should see in our eyes a true and genuine trust that God is sovereign and He is going to care for us. We also, Christ followers, people that I hope are going to be in this second tier, we need to be conscientious about our tongue. We know that our tongue can cause a lot of damage. And so we shouldn't hear things like, oh, just get a grip. Everything's going to be fine. From people who are sympathetic, from people who are like Jesus, and who can empathize with how other people may be feeling. So just be cautious about your tongue, those of you who are followers of Jesus. Again, that second tier, fearless but sympathetic, is what I'm convinced all Christ followers should strive to be. The third tier, the fearful but sympathetic. There will likely be those who are going to emerge from this crisis having just lost loved ones. And so it's understandable that they will have a disposition of fear and anxiety. There's a giant question mark over a significant portion of their lives now. Many people may have lost jobs, businesses that they've worked their entire lives for, and fear is setting in. It's human nature to have fear. That's the way we're born, into a disposition of fear. So those of us who are Christ followers, we would do well to relate to everyone. When we start seeing one another on a regular basis again, we would do well to relate to everyone as if they had just lost something significant. That will help us to treat people as Jesus would, as if he were here. The fourth tier that I want to mention to you, the fearful but reckless. There are those whose hearts will be ruled by fear, and they will treat people just like those in category or tier number 1 do. So they will have very little tolerance for people who don't share their anxieties. And so they'll become bitter and resentful. And unfortunately, here's what will happen to people in this group. They will often push people away. They'll get angry that you don't share their anxieties. And so they will often suffer alone. They'll end up burning bridges and saying things they later regret because fear does that to people. And so in this fourth category, my recommendation to you, my strong urging, exhortation to you, is that you take your cue from Jesus, that you not be dominated by fear, that you allow God to teach you a greater degree of trust, and that you enter into society again, learning that not everyone sees things the way that you do. Not everyone believes that the underlying causes of this crisis are the same causes. And so there's a lot of confusion going on out there. And as Christ followers, we need to make sure that we are responding to confusion the way that Jesus would, without fear and with sympathy toward those who are full of fear. So again, I'm just presenting this to you. These are not hard, fast biblical principles. This is a spectrum that I've come up with based on what I understand the Scriptures teach. So think these things through conscientiously. As I said before, be a good Berean. Search the Scriptures for yourself. If you think that I've missed something, please email me or put a comment about what you might tweak to this. Part of my job, as I said, as a pastor, is to help people relate well to one another. And I think this will get the ball rolling. I miss you guys a lot. I hope that when we come together, there aren't greater factions, greater divisions between us, but we can come together recognizing that not everybody's going to feel the same way, and to have patient, gentle meekness toward one another. That's all I have for you today. Pray about these things. I'm praying for you regularly. God bless you all.